Southern Cross University invites you to do a 3-minute video as part of the India School competition with Austrade and Southern Cross University on the Gold Coast. We wish you well. The topic is the business of sustainable event tourism in India and the Gold Coast, Australia. Good luck. Just remember, students, this is a competition where you have to shine. You have to show your best. You have to go through the criteria in detail. Make sure you look at all the meaning of the words that are in the topic. Go through and read. Highlight particular things. Show us the depth of knowledge that you've got. And give lots of information about India and the Gold Coast in Australia. Events can be small, they can be large, but they are organised by lots of different people. Remember the business aspect of tourism. When you're doing this video, please consider how many people go to events. Do they take families? Do they take children? Where do they go? What do they do? How do they get there? What do they eat? What goes into their decision making? Let's talk about India. Are you going from Kolkata to Goa, Chennai, Trivandrum, up to Gujarat? Maybe you'll go to Mumbai, Varanasi. Where do you live? Does it really matter? Do you come from Indore or Bhopal? Do you come from Delhi? Maybe Udaipur, you're talking about the lakes. It's a very popular place in Rajasthan. Or the far northeast. Are you from Siliguri? Involve India in your discussions. India and Australia are very close.
Hello and welcome to the Austrade School Video Competition. My name is Peter Wynne Moylan. I'm the lecturer in Special Events and Festival Management at Southern Cross University. Let's talk about events. Humans have been holding special events since prehistoric times, events that unite and celebrate a place or a people. These are ceremonies, rituals to mark important dates of a yearly cycle. These are harvest, solstice, midwinter, or to mark important events, the crowning of a king or a pharaoh, the opening of parliament, remembrance of a war. Or it could be to celebrate and reinforce the culture of a tribe or a people through music, dance, storytelling, or sporting contests to increase fitness and skills of people within that group. There has always been a person organising that activity. From way back when we were in the caves, there was an event organiser. Might have been called at that time a shaman or a witch doctor. Perhaps later in more civilised cultures, a priest or a master of revels or a jester. In later times, modern times, more likely a showman or an entrepreneur. These were the people who put on these events. They organise everything. They're the people who make sure that the space is created, the venue is available, the time is right for holding that event. And they would organise the number of people that are required to make things happen. Think of the number of people required for running an event such as the ancient Olympic Games in Greece, or the games in the Colosseum in Rome. We're talking here 2,000 to 4,000 years ago. There was the events organiser, there was the events team, and practically doing things that we can recognise now. Processes they were using then are still the same processes we use now. They're the people who have to organise, sending out the invites, organising the food, the equipment, organising the performers, making sure that everything runs on time. Now this person or this group of people are given special licence by the government, by the state, to stop normal work activity for a day. That's what a holiday is, a day in which we hold a special event. People are given the right to close streets, and quite often now to have special laws passed for that event to take place. Even in the classical period, events were attractions for gathering crowds. The Olympics, the sun worship rituals of the Incas, the games in the Roman Colosseums, the performances in the Greek amphitheatres, the summer solstice at Stonehenge. These were all events that brought people from around the countryside to that location and required special handling. There were meetings being held. We tend to think of business events as modern activities. No, they weren't. The very first cruciform writing was a recording of a business meeting. It actually recorded the amount of beer the workers were supplied for a day for doing their work. It's the first record of writing we have, a record of a business meeting. Those meetings have been held throughout history. We have ambassadors, emissaries, traders, we have markets. These are all special events that all need an organiser. In modern times, with the rise of cheap, easy transportation and fast communication, events attract large crowds and have become part of the economic activities of a city or a country, and sometimes a very important part of an economy. This has resulted in greater responsibility being placed upon the event managers and event organisers. A modern event must make money for its stakeholders. It must be sustainable, repeatable, year after year. It must be attractive. It must bring people to that location. It must have relevance to the people that are attending and the city in which it is held. And most of all, it must be safe. It must be an event where people are not in danger from crowd crush or bad food or a whole range of dangerous activities that can take place at a gathering of people. Event managers now must answer to a range of regulations and restrictions requiring professional attitudes and processes. The event manager needs to be a professional, a business manager who is responsible for the success of an event. Now, due to the very long history of the profession, and I think we can call events management a profession, processes and knowledge is available. It's been handed down for generations. Systems for programming, systems for selecting time and place, systems for hiring staff and contractors, systems for ticketing and crowd management, and systems for budgeting, systems for publicity. And these are the sorts of things that we teach in the events management course. How to be an event manager within a modern society, and a modern society requiring events to be successful, events required to be successful. That is the core of the rationale, if you like, of the core course of the events units.